The nice thing about this GoPro camera is it now sees nighttime the way I see it. My old camera just couldn't do this. And I was looking at it, I was like, man, it's clear. You're laughing about it. I keep thinking about that one Christmas. I think it was Christmas where I got Ghostbusters, the video game, for the Commodore 64. I spent the entire holiday just playing it. It was 1 year. Dr. Mario another year. Castlevania another year. All my memories are of getting video games and playing them. Not all of them, excuse me. I hate to engage in hyperbole, but the holidays always filled me with some pretty good ones. I hated knowing Christmas plays, but I remember them. Singing in the choir. The food. Yeah, the food. Looking at that giant rooster. As Robin Williams said in that movie, you can tell the wealth of a man by the size of his cock. Oh man. Neighborhood, people are having gatherings, popping off fireworks. Well, at least I know business is going to be good for the next month now. Working at a hospital, I know there will never be a shortage of customers. Am I allowed to talk about the vaccine? Thankfully, all that happened to me was I woke up this morning with a sore arm. You didn't expect this much activity on Christmas Eve? On Christmas Eve? No. I thought everybody would be chilling. They still got folks driving around out there, and I'm just like, alright. Canned chicken. Sounds like a winner. Although I kind of might. I think I'm in the mood for fish. I think I'll make me some kind of fish medley. Mix the sardines and the mackerel and the anchovies and the tuna all together. So that's why I think this is a fake house. This looks like something out of a commercial, man. Tree is perfectly centered in the window without any blinds. The study looks like something out of a Dickinson novel. Everything about that just looks phony. Looks staged. What does a real house look like to you? Books pulled about every which way. There's blinds up there. You can see the tree, but you're not actually looking into someone's house. There's a laundry basket in there. There's some kids' toys on the floor. Like that one looks like a house that someone's actually living in. That tree is crooked. That tree is crooked. Leaning a little bit. It's not quite perfectly in front of the hearth. But again, I don't understand what it is about people not putting blinds up. Do they? They don't. This is not a bad neighborhood. How many times you got to keep telling yourself that? Where you live, yes, there's bars and obfuscation, but here they don't mind if you see what they got. Where I live, I cut up the boxes every time I buy something. Where these people live, they put the boxes out there on the curb. They don't care that everybody knows that they got a big screen TV and the extra guy's equipment and fill in the blank, whatever. it must be wonderful to live in a place like that, where you can go to work and not have to check your cameras every couple hours to make sure your stuff's still there. Wondering if the meth heads down the street got ideas. Wondering when the meth house catches on fire, is some of that going to spread to your house? I know I said you can't run. There are times. Let's just say that I probably wouldn't mind if a little gentrification came to my neighborhood. I am so tired of being on the news for the wrong reasons. What it must feel like to actually be full of good Christmas cheer. Instead of merely saying it is a day off of work where you can get some shit done. What that must feel like, I'll never know. But I am out here, so at least I can enjoy that tiny liberty. Am I cynical? Cynics imagine that the world is shit. I know it to be fact. So no, I'm not a cynic, I'm a realist. I work hard for what I got, and I gotta fight for it. And if that makes me sound like a Debbie Downer, then so be it. Doesn't make me appreciate it any less. But I do get tired. Oh, I get tired. I do want that world I grew up in where you wake up on Saturday morning, you get you a bowl of cereal, and you watch crappy cartoons. And that is pretty much the plan for the day. Anyway, as far as what I'm going to get myself for Christmas, my cat barbell, the bolts are coming off the end. I sent them an email. I said, hey, can you guys tell me what size Torx wrench, Torx bolt is on the on that bar? Crickets. Cat barbell doesn't have any time for me. And the funny thing about those assholes from Cat Barbell, their quote-unquote elite level bar is $255. Rogue Fitness, their basic bar is $245, and is far more superior than Cat Barbell can ever dream of being. They use brass bearings on their end caps. The Cat Barbell still is chrome plated. Lower PSI rating. Hold less weight. Anyway, it's just funny when I last year when I went out and was getting all the equipment from my home gym, they had bars mammy. I was like, I could pick from all these different bars. I was like, yeah, I don't want to pay that much. And now the ends are coming off of mine, and I had to keep screwing it back on by hand. I said, let me go ahead and treat myself. So I go on there after Christmas because I was like, yeah, I'll save up money. I don't have to get the bar right away. Every site I go to, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. I was like, damn, what happened? What happened was all these yahoos started learning the joys of a home gym. At least that was for the cheap sub $200 bars that I was looking at. Maybe when I go on the rope fitness, because I think I'll pay $300 to $500 for a nice bar. Like I said, treat myself. I just figure I get mad that I'm spending $500 on something that all it does is hold weight. For $500, I could build myself a really decent computer system. The tech is so cheap. For $175, I bought a little Celeron quad-core, I think it was an 8 gigabyte workstation, a little mini PC. Had Windows 10 on it. It's not great, like I wouldn't I wouldn't go play games on it, but it's perfect for work. It does exactly what I wanted to do. It loads up a few Windows programs. That is the bulk of what I wanted it to do. If I had, I'd probably get another one. Make it my guest PC for when folks show up and they need to look for something on the internet. Oh man, I worked my nerves though. Right now my guest PC is a, I can't even remember the name of it, which it's an old AMD gaming system that I built years ago. It's got a 6-core processor. I think it has 16 gigs of RAM. I think that was the max. No, it has 8. 246. Yeah, because that was the maximum amount that that motherboard could handle. It was the, I think it was the MSI K9A2. I think the processor was a Phenom 2. It was great for its day, but it doesn't even have USB 3.0 ports. I can't even remember what video card I have in there. I think it's the, no, it's not the 3850. I took that out. Eventually just threw it in the trash, and I'm sure someone claimed it for metal parts. It wasn't a bad video card either. It just, why did I have to get rid of it? It what was wrong with that thing? Okay, the problem with it was it had a lot of, like, I couldn't get Linux to run right with that driver. And it really didn't tap out the maximum of what I could do. So then I replaced it. Oh, that's what it was. It also had 2 DVI ports. Out here. So I replaced it with another ATI Radeon card. I just can't remember which one it was. But it had dual HDMI ports. And better Linux support on the driver. Which I guess it's all moot now because my computer has Linux on it. So, I mean, my computer is Windows 7. My last gaming tower, the final gaming tower that I ever built, was, oh, that sucker was badass. Oh man, we made it badass. It was an Intel i5. I want to say it was the 5th or the 7th generation. 16 gigs of RAM. Corsair RAM, really good RAM. And an NVIDIA GTX 960. It was a decent hot rod. And I was like, yeah, this thing won't have any moving parts. And then I had to get a CD-ROM. Why did I have to get a CD-ROM? It was because I was still running Windows 7. And the thumb drives I had didn't work. And once again, so what happened was Steam came out with Steam OS, and I was happy as a tick on a Great Dane. So I sat there and I put Steam OS on there as my total operating system, as the only operating system. No more dual boots. Steam OS was okay for a while, and then I never could get the Steam has this proprietary, it puts the default Mesa driver on there, and that sucker was limited. I could not get certain games to run for shit. Went on the Pharonic site, at least I think that's how you pronounce it. Went on the Pharonic site, and they mentioned, yeah, you can get the proprietary thing to work if you just put it on Ubuntu. And I was like, but what about gaming? Because well, they got a gaming version of Ubuntu. And I was like, all right. So ultimately, I abandoned Steam OS because Valve abandoned it. That's neat. Got me Ubuntu on there, 1804. Put the latest proprietary drivers from NVIDIA. That's like, ran like a dream. I was playing Borderlands. That was when I found out about oh, what's that project they got going on? If you go to Steam and it tells you, well, this game doesn't run on Windows, you could tell it. There's an option you can select, and basically what it does is it runs this compatibility layer that uses like a cool customized version of Wine that's maintained by Valve, and all the games run. I have yet to find a game that doesn't really work that well on it. I played Borderlands. Occasionally it would crash, and it was the weirdest thing because it would crash when my character would go through this little portal and it would take him off to somewhere else, another part of the game. Like there was different types of levels. What was the cause of that? It was it would actually tell you in the stream. Look it up on the internet and they said try this, and the patch worked. Didn't crash anymore. And the funny thing was, I thought, well, maybe that's just a maybe that's a problem with Steam and Linux. Tried it on a Windows machine, had the same result. I said, okay. Windows is just buggy as all get out. How did I fix that? I don't know. Maybe I don't have to anymore. Maybe they patched that bug. God, what's the name of that project? Phronix always talks about it. You can go on the site and you can post your problems you had, then you can just upload the data to them, and they will say, oh, you need to try this, because they look at your logs. I want to say it's called Spartan or something like that. It's just the neatest thing. Yeah, I'm a man who's looking at next year with some, I don't want to say the bad word plans, but I have some ideas about some things I'd like to try. Some loose hypotheses. I thought my car is like, I got a 2005 Civic. She's getting up there in years, but she's not showing any sign of transmission's working fine, the engine's running fine. I was thinking, just in case, you know, I might have to get a new car. I was like, I know what I'll do. I was like, I hardly go anywhere. I'm gonna just give me a little cheap 2-door hatchback. Can't cost more than $10,000, right? $11,000. I go on there. The closest thing they got is the Honda Fit. And Honda just discontinued the Fit. I'm like, okay. I said, well, maybe I just won't get a Honda. Everyone else has discontinued hatchbacks as well. I was like, all right. Then I read news articles. The magic word is subcompact. All the subcompact cars, they stopped making it in the United States, because like I said, we're stupid. So other countries, they're still making subcompact cars and trucks, because the rest of the world doesn't need the giant fucking behemoth gas guzzler. The United States chooses to have big SUVs and trucks. People say, well, I need this, you know, it makes me feel safe. I was like, so you're the bad driver. The guy who says, I buy the big truck because I might have to haul something. Might, not, I do have to haul something. You're not the guy in the commercial who goes to the quarry pit every day, who hauls engineers to construction sites. You're just not that guy. You know, an accountant in Fresno, about the heaviest thing he's going to haul is maybe a box of W-2 forms. But he's got the truck because one day he plans on getting enough free time to put that garden project together. The one where he bought all the planting supplies, and it's just been sitting there for 2 years. Moldy potting soil. The guardian of Gate 7. Every time I see a cat, I laugh about the supernatural aspects of cats. From all the little comic books I've ever read, they're supposed to be, in video games, they're supposed to be they're basically like the government workers of the afterlife. Man, it's been a long time since I've gone down this street. The problem I always had with Gaspar is running it is annoying because it dead ends right into Foster. What was I gonna do? Okay, so I'm going down Highgrove. Cool. Alright. Highgrove is not terrible. Basically, I wanted to avoid any bad neighborhoods tonight. 2.5 miles. Not a lot of drama. I was like, but it's Christmas Eve. I was like, that means nothing. You're gonna read the crime report tomorrow. Something bad will happen to someone around this area on Christmas Eve. I don't want to become a statistic. Another phony house. Maybe they're just from Europe. Like I see Audis, BMWs, Land Rovers, all European cars. Maybe they just don't know any better. See, there's a house with the shades. One day the sidewalks, I'll be able to walk down them and not have to jump around the building materials that some asshole decided to leave blocking the sidewalk. Okay. What was there before? Man, don't get me. I don't remember. I just don't remember that big behemoth being there. God, what was there? All I gotta do is look at my old videos and maybe I could remember looking up for a second just to see what it was. I remember this was a trashy house. Now it looks like something out of Beetlejuice. I don't mean like the afterlife, I mean that. Every time I see houses like that, I keep thinking about Catherine O'Hara's character. Someone with a lot of money, no talent, and without a lick of sense. They try to be talented, but they try to be artistic, but they're just not clever enough. About the dad in there. Yeah, then I started thinking about what happened to the actor that played him. This is the kind of shit that... Oh, okay, I thought that was an extension cord. That's how I knew I was in a bad neighborhood. That one time I looked down, they had an extension cord going across the street. I said, okay. Oh man. Oh, what a night. Late December. It ain't 63. Late December 2063. Treading water. A burning catastrophe. What a melody, what a, oh what a night. Climate change has made a hellscape. Eating cats and dogs and everything. What a melody, what a night. Oh, I got a funny feeling from the virus in the room. As I recall, it ended my step. Is that how they're gonna be singing that song? What does Barry Manilow look here? He'll be dead. Maybe not. Maybe he'll take that blood pressure medication that extends your life. Barry Manilow, 150 years old. Only his head remains in a jar. Somehow they preserved his voice with a Vocaloid attachment for his tendril body. Everybody keeps thinking that technology is going to advance at that point in like 40 years. What are we up to in cybernetics now? They're not doing so bad. They can get you a decent hand. When I mean a decent hand is it'll move. It's just power. It depends on how good the battery technology gets. I'm surprised to see how the inputs are working out. Like they twitch a little muscle in their elbow and all of a sudden it opens and closes the hand. And so they might get pretty articulate in the next 20 years even, if we're not treading water. Getting up there in years. Well, I gotta say that my new Alcatel, I got this Alcatel phone that's supposed to be waterproof and drop proof, and it's supposed to be a disaster phone. The only reason I got it was because I've gone through about 2 of those cheap ass track phones that I keep buying. I said this is gonna be a thing every 3 or 4 months. So I bought it. Got an 8,000 milliamp battery, and it's supposed to last for, I forget how long it's supposed to last while it's turned. I've had this thing turned on for about 8 days now, and I'm only down to like a 40% charge, and I was like, damn. I'm impressed. Give me a SIM card and a data plan. Wait, am I going down the village? Shit. My brain's all messed up. I didn't want to go down that trashy street. So I go down Highgrove. Highgrove is slightly better. Highgrove is slightly greater. I think in about 2-3 years, let me rephrase that, coronavirus changed the whole game, man. Like now, will people start expanding in Dallas, or will they just move out of here? Because the only reason you come to Dallas is to work. And if you can work from anywhere, fuck Dallas. People will be out of here so fast. So this might just become the city that, maybe I'll cross the street. Again. This might become a lower middle class city. Like, I know they're going to Austin, but nobody said. No one said I'm leaving San Francisco and LA to go to Dallas. I don't think anybody will come here. Maybe once they've exhausted Austin, they'll come here, but between Austin and Houston, Dallas just gets the leftovers. And I never stopped to think that, you know, if you work in banking, you don't have to be here talking face to face with anybody. That money's all handled virtually and online, so maybe you start traveling up north and you go to the nicer areas of Texas. People will start fanning out to those suburban destinations. Howdy. I wasn't expecting to hear English. That was weird. Kids speak English. Yeah, the kids speak English. It's just... Is it as bad as it seems? Almost. It's getting there, man. Now, I know my parents don't want to move. And I can't say I blame them as they're being elderly, but we really don't have to be here anymore. You know, my mom, she's been working from home before that became a COVID thing, and she'll probably continue to do that. So she could work from anywhere. My dad, well, you know, he ain't working at all. And me, I'll probably just get an apartment or something close by work until I retire. And then one day, buy some property somewhere else. There's really nothing keeping me here. Other than this, the devil I know. That's my excuse for everything. I need to get that. I need a new devil. You know what? Fuck it.